we last left off was like really the marketing piece, and is making sure that you're making your house available. Okay. And what you want to do in making your house available is pretty much, the time frame. Hey there, I'm giving you a wave on Instagram. It's pretty much making sure the time frame that you are making your house available. Okay, so if evenings works best for you, where you can show your home when you're putting it on the market, then that's fantastic. If you want to keep it to weekends during a certain time frame, that's great as well. Not a problem. But the point is that you make your home available. There are plenty of homes that you will see just freeze on the market. They will go on a standstill simply because people is not making themselves for us to get in there to be able to see it. And it was super duper frustrating for the agent, the selling agent of that property, as well as for my buyer, who of course wanted to see it. And so it can be really frustrating. So all that to say, it is important that you try to be flexible, within reason. Do what's comfortable for you, but you want to definitely trust your realtor as well. Trust your instincts, but also trust your realtor, because the point is that your home gets sold. You want it to happen as smoothly as possible, as efficiently as possible. If you're a person that requires people to take off their shoes, sure, buy some booties, some foot covers, so that make that available for your home. I think we talked about last time making your home ready, but there you can have kind of parameters around what people do in your home, because you still got to live there until it gets sold, right? So and that is something that you talk to your listing agent about. Okay. So you show your home. Of course, there's a lockbox where a key will be in that lockbox, so that so realtors, not people, but realtors who schedule a showing. The great thing about listing your house on the MLS, which is of course the database for all realtors and real estate agents, is that they're coming with ready, willing, and able buyers. Okay. So you don't just have anyone going in your house. You have a potential person who's ready, willing, and able to buy your property. And a lot of times when you do for sale by owners, you can get anybody. It can be your neighbor that just want to look at the house. It can be just somebody that's bored. You you never know. It could be somebody that does not have cash, or does not have a pre-approval or anything like that. And it's hard to vet out that kind of stuff, if you're working yourself and you have a family and stuff like that, and try to answer phone calls and all that stuff. So that's why it's good to leave it to a professional to get that done for you. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to go over, after you've shown your home, had open houses. So in this time, open houses, you're really doing virtual open houses, okay, for the most part, which can still be done on a Saturday or and a Sunday, but you're doing it like via Zoom. Some people use other video conferencing apps, which is fine. A lot of times, the listing agent will be hosting it, and at the home, sometimes it will just be the homeowner who is showing it. I mean, the listing agent is still hosting it, but they're just not at the home, right? So as the homeowner is walking around, maybe with the camera, the listing agent is saying, hey, yeah, this is that, just describing everything. But of course you can still do open houses. It's just different during this, climate, during this quarantine. Okay. Virtual tours have been big hit before quarantine, and of course they even a bigger hit during this times. Okay. So it's definitely something that is doable. So if you wanted to list your home now, it can happen. People are buying homes via just seeing the virtual tours. Okay. So you don't that's something that you don't have to worry about at all. So the other thing is, you're after of course you market your home, you show your home and everything like that. Hopefully you're going to be getting some offers, It is still a seller's market, meaning that there are more buyers than there are inventory. So that means 9 times out of 10, you're going to get multiple offers on a property. So, of course, when you get multiple offers, you want to weigh all of those offers, okay? Now, some people may feel like, oh, well, I'm going to get the offer that gives me the most money. That's not always the case, right? It's not always the case. The offer that has more money is what's best. It's really like when you're going for a job, right? And maybe the salary is not what you would like it to be, but the benefits are fantastic, right? So sometimes, the benefits outweigh the actual number that you might get. So, for instance, maybe that person gave you above your asking price, your listing price, but they want to close in 60 days and you really need them to close in 30, or the sooner the better. Then you might take the property that's come a little bit below because their timeline is better, okay? Depending on your circumstances. So during that time, of course, well, with the assistance of your realtor, we're going to go through those offers and say, hey, we're going to, let's pick the one that works best for you and your situation, okay? Sometimes it may be, hey, the cash offer. Sometimes it's not the cash offer that always wins out. So those are just the nuances of going through that offer and negotiating process. Of course, you can always counter offer. Maybe you like the offer, but it's like, let's see if we can get them to come up a little bit higher, a little bit close to asking, or a little bit over, being as though we do have other offers and I do like this particular one, but if they could come up just a little bit more, if they could seal the deal for me. So sometimes those are the kind of things you work through with your real estate agent. Also, after you open escrow order title. What's going on here? Okay. Sure we good. Hold on. No. Where are you going? Okay. I'm making sure my picture is still here. Guys. Gotta make sure. All right. Sorry about that. Making sure my picture's still there. I keep seeing a line. I hope you guys aren't seeing it as well, and I can't see any comments right now. But yeah, technology. So anyhow, we're gonna steam ahead. So you're gonna open an escrow account. So that the earnest money deposit you have received goes into that account. So you cannot put it into your bank account like, yeah, we're rolling. Nope. You cannot officially have that money until you have closed. You have reached the settlement date. Okay. Go away. Phone calls. All right. So a lot of times, your listing agent's brokerage will hold that money, or have an escrow account to put it in, or the title company. Okay, so those are the kind of the two options there. Now you're going to have the appraisal and inspection process. Now you can get an appraisal, which are two different things. Two different things. Appraisal, home inspection. I talked about this before at other Tuesday tips at 2. But an appraisal is pretty much, this is what is the worth of the value of the home, and they come and inspect it thoroughly to make sure that whatever the that the home is matching the market value. Pretty much they confirm it. So say that you got an offer for 160, and it's like, yeah, 160, yep, that's the value of the home for sure, based on the market, based on the condition of the house and all that other stuff. So they'll come in and do that. Now, some sellers would like to get an appraisal done in their own home, so that when the buyer gets an appraisal done, typically the buyer pays out of pocket for appraisal as well as home inspection. Sometimes the seller want to get it done because they just want to make sure they can confirm whatever the buyer's appraiser or inspector finds out about the home. That is solely up to you. But typically, the buyer gets the appraisal, the buyer gets the home inspection that is at their expense. So, um, what's 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 going to happen after the home inspection? Okay. So after the home inspection, and for some reason this document has the seller's disclosure. I just want to go kind of back. This should have been in part one, just in case. I think I went over this in part one, but just in case, um, the 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 seller's disclosures, okay, is pretty much everything you know about the property. I'm sure I talked about this in part one, and that should have been issued. That actually is a document that is uploaded to the MLS, which is where your house is being listed, again, the real estate database, and that is available for the buyer's agent to see. Okay, so you pretty much know all of that stuff, and it's certainly when a buyer is submitted an offer to you, they have their signed copy of the seller's disclosure. Okay, so that confirms that they saw everything that's on that document. So I just wanted to put that in there. Now the next thing is negotiate request for repair. So after the home inspection, um, typically you have a inspection contingency and the agreement of sale, where it gives the buyer 10 days to get an inspection. Okay, 10 days, and 5 days thereafter to negotiate after the inspections. Okay, so that is the time frame that you're going to have to, let's go back and forth. Am I going to make the repairs? Am I going to just give them a credit? Am I going to say nope, absolutely not, to none of it? Okay, so that's the time where you figure that out. Now if you come to an agreement with the buyer, you do say I'm gonna give you a credit or I'm gonna do repairs, you're gonna have, an addendum to the agreement of sale that's going to list that you're doing the credit or that you're doing the repairs and all that good stuff. Okay, after all that's good, you're going to sign the title and escrow documents. And that's pretty much means you're going to close it. All right, you're going to close it. If everything is agreed upon, you're going to close it. You're going to sign all the pertinent information and documents. Of course, when you go to the settlement table, you need to bring your ID, and make sure you have that available. Depending on the closing company, you're either going to sign most of it virtually and maybe do a couple of things in person in a safe environment and safe space, or you're going to do it in person, but it's going to be space you're going to be pretty much by yourself and make sure that you sign on the proper documents. And of course, at that time, you get your check for your property or you get the wired funds. Hand over your keys. I want to make sure I put that in there. And that's it. That's it. I just had to look at my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. But that is pretty much part two of selling your home, listing it, getting it on the market. If you want to sell and or list your home and get it on the market, you can contact me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate, at www.djmrealtyco.com, or you can go to my Facebook page or my YouTube page. You can put your email in the comments and I can certainly get you on my email list. Now, I want to say this again, that effective June 1st, you will no longer be able to just go on YouTube or Facebook to retrieve my videos. They'll only be clips, but not the full installments of information. So all you have to do is send me your email information, and subscribe to my subscription list, mailing list, and you'll be able to get the information. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for joining me. If there were technical difficulties, I do apologize. It's a work in progress, but we're going to get it together. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, there's no place like home, and no place like home buying, and no place like home selling. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Oh, and for a free for a free virtual consultation, you can sign up at bit.ly/DJM Consult. All right. Bye. Come on, get there.